Millions of roses and tulips. It depends on taste. There are a lot of customers in flower shops. Well, we can't imagine March 8 without a bouquet. Therefore, from the evening of 7th March, men start to choose the right flowers.
Это гиацинты, потрясающие ароматные цветы. Это весна. Стоят они дома достаточно долго, аромат сирени выглядит похожим на сирень. Бутоны есть разных цветов, можно из них мешать. Получится небольшой, но очень милый букет.
In Kazakhstan, it is customary to celebrate International Women's Day with flowers, surprises, and compliments. The only day in the year when all women accept congratulations without exception. Men express admiration for women, express their warm feelings towards them, and try to do household activities instead of women, at least today on the holiday. Daughter, spouse, sisters, colleagues, and dozens of students. Vocal teacher Bronislav Buginas has his own list of people to congratulate. In the meantime, with his little artist, he is preparing a musical composition to compliment to their mothers.
Детки, мы с вами разучиваем песенку.
Children, we are learning a song. Everyone has a mother. Today, we will learn it with you. Continue to learn it in the Kazakh language. What instrument will we use? Dobra.
Жамбырдың анасы бар ма? Бар, бар, бар. Арлардың анасы бар ма? Бар, бар, бар. Жапырақтың, гүлдердің де, араның да, шыршаның да, бұл әлемде бәрінде анасы бар.
8 songs, 2 orchestras, and 2 dance groups. The young vocalists begin the preparation almost immediately after the New Year holidays in order to have ample time to have the best performance without mistakes, because the performance is a gift to their closest person.
Конечно, этот день связан лично с семьей, с мамой.
The International Women's Day is connected personally with the family, with mother, with sisters. We have a large family. I am the 8th in the family. I have 4 sisters, and I always congratulate my relatives. Now I have a daughter and a spouse. On this day, we give congratulations to each other, chores, flowers, and in my studio, I have girls. This is an open lesson to mothers. This is where they learn songs, games, dances. Everything is connected with this holiday. Mothers, housewives, reliable employees, and responsible leaders. Modern women have dozens of roles that sometimes seem impossible to combine, but they break all stereotypes and succeed everywhere. If they take up something, then they will certainly achieve it. They claim rights to new competencies. They have strived for this for centuries. Sociologist Kamila Kovyazina tells how Women's Day appeared on our calendar. It turned out not to be quite festive.
Если говорить о 8 марта, то его история началась в конце 19 века. Тогда начались первые такие...
If we talk about March 8, then its history began in the late 19th century. It was when the first rallies for women's rights began. The first meetings are connected with the fact that women, textile workers, who worked in factories went on strike to defend their rights. To say that these were impossible, this had not happened before.
Подниматься, такая не революция, скажем, а подниматься вопрос уже о 8-часовом рабочем дне. Раньше такого не было.
The protests became regular. The numbers on the calendar, locations of the demonstrations, and even the participants changed. Only the requirements remained unchanged. Women defended their rights.
Часть из них начала присоединяться к движению суфражизма, а суфражистки уже говорили о том, что нужно, чтобы женщины...
Some of them began to join the suffragism movement, and the suffragists have already said that the woman has studied sciences too, that we are smart and advanced enough to understand these things too. Suffragists also fought for women's rights to vote and to choose. Few people know that we got this right quite late, and that it is very important for us. Officially, it all started in the 1910s. Clara Zetkin, activist of the German labor movement, spoke at the Second International Conference of Working Women, where for the first time she proposed the establishment of a special date of protest against the political lack of rights of women workers. They took to the streets, demanded attention to their problems and freedom of choice. Since the 70s of the last century, the United Nations has become the main promoter of the day. In 1977, the organization invited the participating countries to choose any day to chant their ideas of women's equal rights and world peace, and they chose March 8th.
Современная женщина должна иметь...
A modern woman should have her own ambitions. Then, she will not be financially dependent on men. An economist by education, Dania Espayeva inscribed her name in the history of independent Kazakhstan. She became the first female presidential candidate. By the time of the nomination, she has already had considerable experience, more than 30 years of working in the banking sector and 5 years of legislative activity in parliament, where she succeeded from the actual party.
Во время пленума, когда...
During the plenary meetings, when they discussed which candidate from our party that we will nominate, there was such a remark from one of the members of our party. Well, actually we need a man. We live in Kazakhstan and they don't understand if we nominate a woman. For me, it was probably a push. Everything seemed to rebel inside me. Why not a woman? Daria Espayeva decided to run for office. It is obvious that the competition was fierce. 5 men and a single woman. With a large margin, Dania Espayeva outperformed her closest competitors, and later in the elections, she even managed to enter the top 3.
Действительно был риск.
It really was a risk, such a serious party, which has in its ranks famous men, businessmen. Our party leader is a very famous person, but nevertheless, to nominate a woman from the party was probably a big risk. But on the other hand, these were probably signs of democracy.
Так, а сейчас вы у нас находитесь в нашем небольшом офисе, уютно.
And now you are in our small office. It is comfortable and our clients love it. Here they often spend a lot of time drinking a cup of coffee. And here we work with our catalogs.
Работаем с нашими каталогами.
Politics, diplomacy, and even business. Kazakhstani women are confidently mastering areas that are traditionally considered masculine. Gaukhar Utelbayeva's tailor's house is often visited by famous politicians, entrepreneurs, and cultural figures. It sews exclusive men's suits, made to order.
А здесь у нас, как вы видите, мастерская. Здесь проходят все чудеса.
Here we have a workshop. All miracles take place here. Now you can observe the work of our master. We are working on stitching the sleeves. The costume is completely handmade. We use the bespoke technology.
Технологии беспок. Наши клиенты на сегодняшний день.
Our clients today are presidents. These are Olympic teams from different countries, businessmen, officials,
бизнесмены, чиновники. А вот здесь у нас уже готовые работы.
And here we have the finished work. Here you see the suit made of flannel fabric. The color is very fashionable today.
Цвет на сегодняшний день очень такой модный.
In order to open your own studio, it is not necessary to be able to sew. Gaukhar continues to break stereotypes. She admitted that at first it was not easy.
Нет, я не шью.
No, I don't sew. I never sewed or even tried for so many years.
Я не пробовала за столько лет. Более того, я скажу, что я и не справилась первое время.
I admit that I did not manage it the first time. Well, these were very big failures. I just didn't know. I thought, as in an ordinary studio, you take an order, hire employees, they do the work, and that is the service. In fact, of course, this turned out to be much more complicated.
Мы, психологи, очень часто любим обращаться к пирамиде Маслоу.
We psychologists very often love to refer to the Maslow pyramid, the pyramid of needs. Have you heard? So, in the same Maslow pyramid, there is a need for novelty. I don't remember what it is literally called there, but the essence of this need is that a person constantly strives to learn something new. And in this regard, the fact that the role and functions of women in society is changing there, this can also include the realization of this need for novelty. If it were not for this, our leader, one of the leading needs is to find out what is there, what is around the corner, beyond that river. We will not have to come to where we are now.
Что там за тем углом, что за той рекой. Ну, собственно, мы бы и не пришли бы к тому, где мы находимся сейчас.
Сама технология вообще, в целом у меня не было никакого представления вообще в целом.
In general, as a whole, I had no idea about tailoring, so I had to fail. And then there was simply no other choice, to declare bankrupt or to realize my idea further. But since I am a person with ambitions and high self-esteem, I had no other option than to create something else based from all the experience and failures that I have gained.
Было такое, знаете, страдала, поэтому у меня не было другого варианта, как просто из всего этого, что я приобрела опыта, да, и неудач, из всего этого слепить и сделать что-то стоящее.
And when it finally happened, Gaukhar decided to change the scope of her business activities. Try yourself in something new, even if you have to learn the basics for this.
Это будут пекарни. Пекарни, это будет уникальный хлеб, это ремесленнический хлеб.
It will be bakeries, it will be unique bread, it will be artisan bread. Now at the training stage is the study of technology in general for this business as a whole. So far, there are no examples in Kazakhstan.
У нас пока примеров нет в Казахстане.
The fact that this business will ever come out as a plus, the owner of business does not doubt it.
Я всегда говорю, что самое главное в бизнесе – это продажи.
I always say the most important thing in business is sales. Everything else can be typed, taken, learned to build, but if there is no sales, then there is no business. But in general, of course, I do not want to do business, but I have to do business.
Получается, что мне приходится заниматься этим.
Sociability, the desire for continuous development, and hyper-responsibility. Here is what distinguishes business people from representatives of other areas. According to the latest data, it was women who created about 800,000 jobs in small and medium-sized businesses. This is about 30%. They not only give everything themselves, but they also demand the same from others.
Мы знаем, что классические вот эти вот гендерные функции мужчина-добытчик, женщина-хранительница очага, они уже...
We know the classic gender functions. Man is an earner, woman is a guardian of the hearth. As we see with you now, these functions have become irrelevant. Because in today's world, woman does not need some kind of defender who would protect her from the threats, from some physical external threat. Mammoths do not attack anymore. Another man will not be able to grab us and take us to his cage. There are no such situations now, as well as the function of the guardian of the hearth. Man does not need someone to sit and guard his bonfire.
Не нуждается в том, что кто-то сидел и охранял его костер.
Так, голос. Так, девочки, опасно.
Gloves, a cap. So girls, we don't move our heads dangerously. We don't beat from the waist. We listen to the commands. We wrap the brush, okay? Shake hands to the corners. Boxing. On roads, on construction sites, and even in a sports ring. Women who stubbornly stood up for their rights are trying to keep up with men. They drive trucks, operate tower cranes, and even understand boxing. Asel Shanasheva is one of those, the daughter of a sports coach. She no longer imagined herself outside the ring. How did it happen that I decided to do boxing? In our family, my brother, younger brother, they all did boxing. And in the morning, we had boxing at home. And in the evening, we had boxing at home. And on TV, we watched boxing. And I think the question will not arise here how you got into boxing. Boxing came into my life. And I don't know, it seems to me that I always lived with boxing. When Asel announced that she wanted to follow the footsteps of her father was the only one who did not support her. He said it is not a girl's business. But the daughter, brought up in the best sports traditions from childhood, simply did not know how to lose. What I like firstly is the discipline, and secondly, that there are strict rules that must be followed. And I also like the fact that compared to other sports, boxing is more loyal. There is no cruelty here. There is discipline, there is order, and there is the art of dance. This is not a fight. This is a dance between two people. There are only 3 women boxers in Kazakhstan, and here Dad can be proud, as Sel managed to repeat the way of her father. Now she goes to the largest boxing championships, and the rest of the time she teaches at the School of the Olympic Reserve.
Сама бы свою дочь я в зал бокса, конечно же, не привела бы.
I would not have brought my daughter to the boxing ring myself, but if she expressed a desire to do boxing, I would not mind. But of course, I would control the whole process. Well, in no case would I have helped her to promote. If she succeeds, let her achieve it. And if not, well, let her do it for herself then, for self-defense, for self-confidence.
Да? Солнце. Это у нас репетиционный манеж был.
This is our rehearsal arena. Here is also an elephant and a lion cub. Here in this direction, we have an administration and a director.
Быстрей! Быстро!
Faster, 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 come to me.
Си, моя собачка! Это моя любовь! Это моя любовь! Это моя... Быстро! Быстро поцелуй меня! Умка!
You are my dog. This is my love. Freedom, freedom to dogs.
Свобода! Свобода собакам!
The performer of equestrian acrobatic stunts in the past, Aygirim tried herself in a different role after an injury. Now she is a trainer.
Это Снежок. Это Умка.
This is Snowball. This is Umka, a son of Snowball. This is the whole family. Now the mother will come. Her name is Modi. I could not, as they say, force them into training. I have them for beauty, for my soul, for photos. I keep them for myself. They do tricks, but very rarely I let them out onto the arena.
Выращиваю, можно сказать, держу у себя. И они делают трюки, но очень редко выпускаю на манеж.
The main partner of Aygirim now is Cowboy. Like her, he was once involved in equestrian acrobatic performance, but he has been performing solo in recent years.
Ты мой хорош, самый умный.
You are my good horse, the most intelligent student. This is my colleague Cowboy. He has such an unusual name, but he has already come to me as an adult. Already full grown, with character, already formed, a man. A real man who stands his ground. The horse is very smart.
Настоящий мужчина, который стоит на своем. В джигитовку попала как? Я вообще-то в цирке уже 15 лет.
How I got to Jigitovka, which means trick riding. I've been in the circus since the age of 15. My husband is a trainer. He is a former jigit. And we decided at some point to make our own Jigitovka, to assemble our own team headed by him, and I support him. And so it began this way. First, we just decided walking on them, riding, trotting, galloping, and I liked it. And I say, I want to do it. I want to try it. It's not that I was jealous. I watched with such enthusiasm how the girls worked, went to the arena and rode on. I wanted to blow my hair so that my hair is like wavy straight. I dreamed about it, and this dream has come true. You just have to always dream and go for it. Work hard.
Я об этом мечтала. И эта мечта сбылась, к этому надо всегда идти, мечтать и идти упорно.
Aygirim admits there was no fear, even after an injury. She had to recover for a long time and at the same time look for something else, but certainly it will be in the arena.
Женщины все могут.
Women can do anything. Women are very strong. I do not say that men are weaker than us. The female spirit is something completely different.
Совершенно другое.
Achieving success is in the nature of our women. They manage to do everything, both at home and at work, and at the same time remain the center of attraction of the whole family, able to inspire and support at any moment.